Thanks. So you guys know the deal by now. Tuesday, Le'Veon could have returned for the deadline. He didn't, and so that's that. But, Stephen A., let's move forward. What team should sign him?
Green Bay. I think if you're Aaron Rodgers, you should do everything you can to get the Green Bay Packers organization to have him available to you. As an aside, I want to say this, though. When we were alluding to stock being hurt or whatever, that last word, and not that Ben Roethlisberger did anything intentional, he was just answering the question. But when he said, did you hear back from him? And the answer was no. Those are the kind of things I believe are going to hurt Le'Veon Bell when all is said and done. It's one thing to, again, you got to avoid certain situations because it's business and we get all of that. But you're talking about a band of brothers that you inside that locker room with who understand the business side of it all. And again, once the deadline passed, okay, then there's nothing to be said. Business is business. It's already been decided. You ain't coming back. You're not even reaching out and returning brothers' communication. Those are the kind of things.
He's mad Ben didn't go to bat for him?
Well, you could say that. You could say that. But Ben Roethlisberger and those guys said, you can't sit up there and say they didn't go to bat for him. You got to remember, he made the call. People wanted him on the team. He couldn't reach an agreement. Once you couldn't reach an agreement, there's only one or two choices. He could either return and sign the franchise tag or choose not to. It wasn't one of those situations where he's holding out, anxious to come back, and the Steelers had the opportunity to go there and sign him, and then they didn't get it done. Once the agreement wasn't reached in the offseason, you weren't allowed to do anything but come to one of those two conclusions, which means it wasn't about anything other than that. And so when you're not communicating with cats, those are the kind of things in the world of sports that count against you when all is said and done.
It seems to me that Le'Veon was salty about Roethlisberger. It seems to me that he wasn't feeling supported by Roethlisberger. I have no problem with what Roethlisberger said just then. But the way he handled it, look, the fact that the offensive line was coming out and talking and everything, Roethlisberger's the leader of the team. He's the quarterback. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. He has Super Bowl rings. Had he kept it to simply any team would, like, Le'Veon Bell's a great player. Of course, we wish he's here. He's not right now. We have to deal with what we have. If he just had kept it to that even, I think maybe Le'Veon Bell might feel a little differently right now. Maybe he'd return the text. Let me say this. The team that I think Green Bay is a great pick. I think they'd have to really do some maneuvering to get the cap space. I think the Houston Texans could really use Le'Veon Bell. When you think of the timing of everything, people are talking about the Jets, but Darnold is still a baby. Deshaun Watson's heading into his third season next year. The offensive line was terrible in the beginning of the year. It's come along a little bit. Le'Veon Bell should help there. You have Le'Veon Bell and DeAndre Hopkins with a third-year quarterback who's ready to win and a team that's coming along. That's tough. I think Le'Veon Bell maybe puts those guys over the top.
I like both those options. I got another one for you. How about the Colts?
Luck's never had a running back like that.
Franchise quarterback,
not
right?
bad, not bad. Andrew Luck's never had that available to him.
Trent Richardson back in the day, but they never had anyone really pan out with him.
That was what started the drafting the running backs way up high again. Started with Trent Richardson. The way that turned out, people got scared for a second.
Yep. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll leave it there. First take, not done yet. The Rams are now really the home team after yesterday's announcement to Monday night's game, moving from Mexico City to L.A. We'll have more on all that. Come on back.